Performing has always been something that I've wanted to do as a career, but I didn't realize the amount of hard work that was needed to be a successful performer until I got to high school. All throughout middle school, I didn't know anyone else who was really passionate about theater, so when I had no one and nothing to gauge my experience and passion off of. So when I got to McCallum, where people were literally theater majors, I felt in over my head. I was inexperienced and naive compared to the grades above me. I had not been that insecure since doing my first show at the age of 9, so 6 years later it was a pretty overwhelming and odd experience. Here I was, surrounded by all of these hardworking, dedicated, talented people, and all I wanted to do more than anything was to be just like them. Then, in spring of freshman year, I was given the opportunity to do just that. I got cast as Benjamin in our UIL one-act play, The Yellow Boat, in 2015. At the time, I didn't think much of the role or the opportunity, but at the end of the run, I was so thankful for the chance to play the role that stretched me to become a better performer in person altogether. The Yellow Boat is a true story of an 8-year-old boy named Benjamin who develops AIDS after a faulty blood transfusion around the very beginning of the epidemic. Throughout the show, he fights the disease and keeps positive, but eventually tragically passes away at the end. Benjamin was unlike any role that I've ever played before, so as soon as rehearsal started, I knew it was going to be a difficult process. My acting style up to that point was purely based off instinct with the goal to make the audience laugh. But with Benjamin, I quickly learned that I wasn't going to be able to ham my way out of this one. I would come home discouraged from rehearsals, feeling like I would never be able to perform the role as I'd hoped, and feared that I was going to let everyone in the show down. I talked to my mom about it, and after a long conversation, I had one of the most important revelations of my 15-year-old life. My instinct was not good enough. I was going to have to do the dirty work and put my heart into it if I was going to pull off the role, just like my upperclassmen friends who I looked up to so much. Now, I'm 18 years old, and I'm that upperclassman, and the dirty work is my favorite part of the acting process. Benjamin was the first role I ever played where I moved someone in the audience, other than my mom, to tears, and I'll never forget the feeling of hearing how much my performance meant to people. Since that show 3 years ago, every time I step on stage, I strive to change and inspire people just as my friends did, who I looked up to, and as I did in that show. I believe that role, the role of Benjamin, and my passionate peers were put in my life to help me become a more positive, hard-working person who appreciates the process over the product. My experience will continue to motivate and guide me well past high school into college and beyond.